What's the proper reaction to this? Something like that. That about captures it. This is real, man. This is a real letter from the President of the United States to the leader of Turkey. And when I saw it originally, I said, no, 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 that can't be real. That's somebody like doing a silly parody of the president that's just on the verge of funny, but not all the way to funny, but certainly not real. This is real, and I want to read it to you, and I want to explain it to you as well. It's on White House official letterhead, as you can tell. It's dated October 9th, 2019, which, strangely enough, is about 3 or 4 days, I think, before Turkey invaded Syria, which is what President Trump didn't want him to do. He didn't want the president of Turkey, Erdogan, to invade Syria, and he tried to send this threatening letter that we're seeing right here. So let's read it. It says, "Dear Mr. President, let's work out a good deal. You don't want to be responsible for slaughtering thousands of people, and I don't want to be responsible for destroying the Turkish economy, and I will. I will destroy the Turkish economy," he's saying. Threats already in this. "I've already given you a little sample with respect to Pastor Brunson. Quick sidebar. Who's Pastor Brunson? This guy, that guy. That's Pastor Brunson. He is an American pastor. He's from North Carolina, and this guy decides in, I think the 90s or so, to move to Turkey. And he starts to become a controversial figure in Turkey, and eventually he becomes somebody that is arrested. And he is basically a negotiation tool for Turkey at that point. They tried a couple of times to exchange him for other people who were prisoners in the United States, and that failed. This guy was finally released from Turkish custody and returned to the United States after a deal was struck with President Trump with these exact sanctions in mind that he's put on Turkey, or some previous sanctions. So he's saying, you backed down last time I put those sanctions against you on Pastor Brunson's story, and you'll do it again. He continues, I've worked hard to solve some of your problems. Don't let the world down. You can make a great deal. General Mazloum is waiting to negotiate with you, and he's willing to make concessions that they never would have made in the past." This kind of seems borderline desperate. "I am confidentially enclosing a copy of this letter to me just received. History will look upon you favorably if you get this done the right and humane way. It will look upon you forever as the devil if good things don't happen. Don't be a tough guy. Don't be a fool. I'll call you later. Sincerely, Ramadama. Could say Bud Fentanyl. Bud. It says Donald Trump in there somewhere. This is worse than my signature. I get that sometimes. When I sign a magnet, people are like, wow, your signature is crazy. Look, Trump's is worse than mine. But this letter is insane. And this is now leaked out. Who knows where this came from, what the sourcing of it was. But this is leaked out. And when you start to see it originally, when I saw it, I was like, that's not real. It's a fake letter. Because sort of the tough guy mentality, but coming from the White House and the President of the United States, just comes across as fake. What do you think? Is this a good strongman letter? Was this a smart move by the president? Or does this make the president look like a dumbass? Let me know, comments below, what your thoughts are on this letter. It obviously did not work as a strong arm tactic, because just days later, the Turkish president did exactly what the President of the United States threatened him if he did do. He did it. And the weirdest thing about this is now I almost think President Trump is in a corner. He's flexed as part of a negotiation tactic so many times now that it's not working when he flexes as part of a negotiation tactic with a leader somewhere else in the world. They're not scared. They don't think he's going to do anything. Iran, North Korea, Syria, Turkey. He hasn't done anything to back up these threats. But will he do something now? Will he do something just to prove that there is some bite to his bark? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you.